I'm so sad. I am heavily in denial still about Gustav, if it wasn't obvious. But the more thinking, the more it feels like maybe he really is gone. I still want to hold out hope because of his skill tree, but I did notice that I can't show it here. But everyone has these 3 skills that are locked over on the right side. So Lune has it, Ciel, Verso, and Mael, but Gustav didn't actually have it. I thought he did, but that was actually just a continuation of his skill tree. I mean, he does still have like all those locked skills, so you know, he could come back. But it's not looking good. It's kind of funny how I'm like not about Verso at all, because he replaced my favorite character. Not that I dislike him, but it's like I didn't want to switch off of Gustav while doing world exploration. Now I'm kind of tempted to just be somebody else. And I also need to actually switch him. Like, I don't even want to have him in the party. I don't like how he plays. I'll get used to him over time. But I want Gustav back. I'm also interested in why we have been following Gustav and Verso instead of Mael, when it seems like she is more of the main character than the other two. Because she has this connection to Renoir, I think his name was, the old man, and Alicia. She has some kind of power, and it just seems, and she has visions as well, so it just seems like she has a much stronger connection. Did I go the right way? Yes. She has a much stronger connection to the continent than everybody else. So why have we followed Gustav? Why are we following Verso? I thought maybe with Gustav it was that instead of following Mael, we were following someone who was close to her to kind of, I don't know, set up her motivations or see her journey without actually being her. Some sort of way of like adding impact and weight to her story. I think I went the wrong way actually. I'm trying to get back over there, but I forgot how I got down there in the first place. But now Verso is here and he doesn't have that connection to her. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if Act 3 ends up being titled Mael instead of going possibly back to Gustav or continuing on with Verso. I also do want to try this guy. I feel like I can do it eventually. I just need to get the timing down, so it's going to take a little bit to learn his attacks. Okay, I changed my mind. I was starting to get a hang on the hits, but would sometimes do multi-hit. Like, it would normally do 3 hits. I was starting to get the timing on those, but then it started to do those 3 hits and then more and more. I thought it had to do with how many shields it had on, but it felt like there was one time it didn't have any shields, but it was still doing more than the normal 3 hits. And then at some point it just stopped taking damage, and that was, I don't even think I was a quarter of the way through its health, so I'm not doing that right now. That's way too long to try and mess with this thing. I did see that there was an expedition journal next to it, so eventually we will come back, because pissed off. But I want that journal. I still don't know what's up with its crystals changing. Like, it would change, well, it would change 4 times, and then after that it stopped. So I imagine I'm supposed to be doing something related to those crystals, but I don't know what. I thought it was elemental affinity, and maybe it was changing its vulnerabilities. Like, there was one enemy that did that in Final Fantasy X. It was like a jelly enemy. That didn't seem to be the case because it stayed weak to ice and resistant to fire. So I still haven't figured out what that is. And if I hit it with the element with the related color, that didn't do anything either. But maybe we'll come across an enemy in these new areas that might give more insight to what that is. I wanted to come here because
Nice.
I wanted to see if we could find Gustav's body. What was that?
Oh, lovely.
Was this where I think this was where it happened. Don't. Right, it was right there. What is that about? But not seeing a body. Unless I'm just missing it because it is pretty dark here. Which doesn't necessarily mean anything. So initially I'd been thinking, oh, I want to come here and see if his body is here, because if it's not, then maybe that means that he is going to come back later, but if it is, and he is turned to stone, like all of the other bodies we've seen, then that means that he's definitely not coming back. But that's also not really a definitive thing. It could be that Verso ended up moving him afterwards. He did get his arm I don't remember the end of that cutscene. I don't think he didn't go with them, right? Because he showed up at camp later. So it's possible that Verso just moved his body somewhere else. Could have... I don't know if he would bury him. He doesn't really know the guy. But also, why would Gustav's body not be there? Because Verso doesn't really have... I mean, if Verso doesn't have a reason to move the body, neither does Renoir. I don't know. And then there's also the merchants that had stuff that we've already bought for Gustav that say find an expeditioner. It feels like that should be like, I don't know why it says find an expeditioner rather than like what it's doing here. We've bought these already, so now the border around them is red, but you can still see them, you can still see who it's for. But then for the other merchants, we don't see Gustav's items, it just says find an expeditioner. And I think they're colored blue as well. So tinfoil hat, Gustav is alive, or will show back up at some point. I remember going here, but we couldn't get farther inland, so I'm not going to do that. Don't remember this, but there was a monster in this area. There's another beach here. So I will go as far as I can around here. Which... oh, I see a barrier right here. So I could go here, then around here, and then I'll have to go this one, and then the main story quest. There's probably more on this island as well. What is that? It's not the sea serpent they were talking. It might be actually. I think we saw these at the Flying Waters. So I remember thinking it looked like one of those silly worm things. I think that's it.
Great.
I should see where their pictos are at. I'll finish off their two pictos and then switch them out. Oh shoot, I have the wrong weapon on her. That's unfortunate.
special card.
With the jump ones, I'm always like unsure now whether I'm supposed to dodge that or jump to dodge it. Sometimes they flash the jump prompt way too fast. I don't want to kill this guy yet, because if it dies, I would rather give that to Lune. Damn it. Do we already have one of these, but it says it's not learned. Right. So we just have an extra, I guess? Okay, wait a minute. I was just listening to the music, and I thought in one of the earlier levels that I had heard Gustav's name in the background, but I wasn't really sure, it was hard to tell, so I didn't think about it. But here, I thought I just heard Alicia and Renoir. So, I'm not going to look it up now because I don't want spoilers, but once the game is over, I'm definitely going to look up the lyrics for these songs to hear what she's talking about. Did I get all the new Pictos? See, she said Alicia there. That sound like Renoir. Painting workshop. Okay, I'll go to the beach.
Let us get wet. The master swimmer.
need 3.
Here we go. Venez, attention.
Too early.
Careful now.
All fire.
Doing Lady Luck smiled today.
Base attack applies 2 burn. That's not bad. We'll see if enemies in the next area are vulnerable to fire, otherwise probably might not put it on. What does she have on again? And turn start. Defensive stance gaining AP also gives 1 to allies. Try that for the moment. I don't really know where I'm going. I thought there was going to be treasure around here somewhere. But there's actually an invisible wall. Okay. Is that the one we were at before? I think so. And I don't doubt they gave it. Sounds like we might have to parry or just attack. The weakest for now.
Isomo amigumbo tiro lake.
Okay.
Ave mibo. Yeah. Ali.
Ooh. That's pretty nice. So I have to hit R1 a little bit early.
Você. Pasulilat. Tipo tu lakima.
Shit.
Ituza mamoro.
Let me try the weakest one again. How far do I need to
Dita
be from them?
você.
'Cause there's a delay after you hit R1. That makes it hard.
Ave mibo. Kivigo. Taro muta. Pasulilat. Isomo. Ituza tanko.
I'll try the normal one more time, but this is probably something I'll just do
Sarak.
off screen.
Isomo.
It's gonna take me a long time to get this. I'm not exactly all that interested in it right now. Okay, one more time. That was really bad.
Mamoro. Mida. Pasulilat. Tipo tu.
What? I was hitting R1, but it just wouldn't go off. Okay. I'm not doing that. So yeah, it seems like after you use R1, there's a small delay before you can use it again. So it makes getting those double speedy ones pretty difficult. But I do wonder, are these colors supposed to be coral? But I do wonder if the reward is the same for each level or if it changes depending on how difficult your opponent is.
us get wet. Flying speed!
Guess I have to reach that some other way.
Let
This was there. Beach. This dangerous area. There's nothing here, right? Just this place. I'll leave that. There's also this. Well, since SK talked about Verso getting more rocks for him, I'm going to assume that he'll unlock flying and that maybe this is at the top of a mountain? Because I don't think I've actually been that way. Possibly this as well. So let's see if I can access this, and if not, I'll just go for the main quest.
us get wet.
Lots of expedition ships here. That thing is huge. I think she just said Verso, also. I also want to say I heard Alina at some point, but I don't know who Alina would be. Maybe I should have used Thunderfall.
Attention. Try me.
Trying to see if there's any treasure around here or maybe journals.
Well, that will help.
Let us get wet.
Everyone okay?
You'll get used to them. We're going to see a lot more.
If we hurry, we can cross before nightfall.
Wait. Could we bury Gustav?
I wish we could, but protocol is to keep moving. Gustav would understand.
We can look for a suitable place along the way, yeah? We'll find a nice spot.
Actually, there is a place. Past the quarry, out of sight of the painters. A tranquil haven, protected by magnificent trees. I think you'll approve.
Lead the way.
Let me show you something.
Gradient counter. Some enemies can cast gradient attacks. Gradient attacks are powerful and can only be defended with a gradient counter. More stuff. Whoa. Press R2 to perform a gradient counter.
Any other tricks we should know?
One thing at a time.
So what are gradient attacks then? feel like I should keep him, but I want to get CL and IL as close as possible to the same level. Where are they? So she's still pretty far. I might have to try and see if I can do some solo stuff with her later. So I think, unfortunately, she might have missed out on some XP from the last boss fight with the lantern guy, because I think she was dead at the end of that. Lots and lots of bodies. At some point it does, like, just with the amount of bodies, it does seem kind of irresponsible thinking that all these people were leaving Lumiere, but at the same time, they were gonna die anyway from the Gamage, so it just feels like speeding up their death. I don't know, it's between giving up resources and workers and all that, or trying to end the whole cycle so that the community actually has a chance to survive. It's very quiet. Nope. Really are so many bodies here though. And I'm trying to, there has to be some, I don't know how to like work it out in my mind how reasonable the amount is, because there's all these bodies and then there were the ones that Gustav ran into at the very beginning that were all like bloody and stuff, and I'm having a hard time like feeling like, oh, they actually lost that many people. All those people went on an expedition. It just feels so enormous. But maybe it's because for earlier expeditions they probably had way, way, way more people. So it made more sense to like get together an army and send people off.
These are all expeditions?
A single Nevron took out most of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it still around?
I've only seen it once, many years ago, so most likely not.
Does this not seem really excessive? Like, how do they have that many people? Oh my god.
Good stuff.
Those are bodies, those are bodies. Those are bodies. All of that over there. I'm sure there's more over there. That's so many people.